Hey, good morning. Sorry, I have had no microphone on for a while because it's been a while. Things have not been great lately. Kind of went backwards in my recovery, and it's been rough. So, had to push my games back a month. Um, yeah. Anyway, no one wants to hear anymore about me be whiny about my health. Real sore today. Not sure how long I'll be on, but that's kind of where things are at. Um, I think maybe working on some Star Wars might help a little bit. So the PCs talked about how they want to, um, they want to do space stuff, which is awesome. It's kind of like that's good. They have more control over that. Sorry, I'm trying to grab the date of the next game, 16th. Um, it gives them more onus and control over the situation. Uh, but there's a couple plot threads I want to wrap up. So I think that's where we'll start with. Um, whatever happened to Null and Nietzsche? Okay. Um, I can never remember. I don't use Google Docs enough to remember where everything is exactly, or the formatting stuff, because your boy here rarely uses it, uh, and my brain is real bad of late. Uh, whatever happened to All You Need? Um, the PCs are asked about the status of their friend and are alerted to the fact that his body has gone missing. This was most likely done. See if I can remember these things. It's my other bad problem is I have too much stuff. By followers of the sword. All right, cool. So that at least gives them. Why am I not remembering how to get rid of bold? Boo. Spell check. Normal text. Editing. There you are. You beautiful bastard. All right. So we got to do that. We got to lay that out for them. And I can't remember our Dark Jedi who showed up. Wonder if I've got Nindrin. It has been a 2-month, roughly, trip back from Minolith. Um, with no hyperdrive, and the PCs have had time to spend with their new Chiss allies. So the other thing we can put there is like, I had this thought is like, the sword has been sending people to, once he feels Nendrin through the force, he just keeps sending people to either recruit or kill her. So like this encampment of defeated soldiers basically has shut up around her home. And she's just kind of like, well, they keep telling me, just keep watching me whenever I do stuff and kind of like emulating. So that way we get a little more Nendrin before they leave planet. A possibility of them trying to convince her to go with. We'll see. Reaching. I can't remember the name of the planet right now. This sucks. Brain is bad. Let's just see if there's any of my player notes, but it's not. Upon reaching home, the PCs are directed to Nendrin's new residence. It is a, what would they call it? Like a prefab compound that encircle the cargo area of her former ship. Thinking like the Gree commandeered the ship. They basically was like, yeah, this is the cost of doing business type of thing. But they at least left her their cargo where she'd lived for months and months and months, and where she kept her droids. Former ship around that area has sprung up a strange shanty town. The PCs find out that I know his name wasn't the Sword, but I can't remember what it is though, has been sending students to repeatedly challenge Nendrin to trial by combat in an effort to swing her to his side or have her killed. It's fair. I think the idea is she's kind of sick of it, but also there's a little bit of the whole like, oh, these people follow me around. This is what power feels like. Do I have a list of my just basic stuff floating around here? Are these all? I think these all might be notes from games. This is why James is always so on me about doing Notion, because it would be easier to find stuff. But that seems like a lot of work. That seems like a lot of work for me. All right. Anyway, um, let's change this. Oh, that's not the right one. Let's do this so we can save it. All right. Do that. Or tab that over. All right. So what scenes might occur? Well, first of all, um, there's let's see, walk with me, which is a walk through the shanty town. Um, and the hilt. I think those three are probably about as far as we're going to get. So, um, the PCs can investigate the disappearance of Noel's body from the med center, the Medi Center, med center. Um, since they have left this situation unresolved for so long, because this is something that happened literally within an early time period of them arriving on planet. Um, there's not going to be a whole lot of evidence. So um, they will need to do some real detective work. Interviewing, searching with the Force, which will be blinded by the power emanating from the hilt. What's if I'm following hunches? Walk with me. Nendrin will walk the PCs through the shanty. Noting that, come on. Noting that all of the defeated warriors bow their head and all bear the mark of the hilt. So I think, there's not a lot there besides the kind of, I think the back and forth between Nedrin being a Dark Jedi and them being Super Spike, and them being Jedi. But I think it's enough. Oh, that was dumb. So I think that's still going to work just fine. Also, any potential conversation they can have with any of these defeated warriors. Um, the PCs can also note that there is a small burial plot with three identifiers. Should get across that, like, there's been three she's just killed. She doesn't want to. She's not really interested in that. But there's three dead ones. Um, so, just because she's allowing these people to squat on the land that she acquired by making a deal with the Gree does not mean she's not willing to kill them. Shaggy, hey, 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 hey. Shaggy and Spike, Spike and Shaggy. By the way, Shag, I liked the picture quite a bit, and I do have a picture of yesterday's food from grilling to put up. I just have to ask my wife for a copy of the picture. Um, Also, my multi-bot came today. I thought it was supposed to ship tomorrow, but it showed up on my doorstep this morning. So good for you, Amazon. You're a little early. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I also got my blast attack, who I wish had a little bit less derpy face, but I do love the way blast attack looks. It was cool. So I think the hilt is pretty self-explanatory. Um, the PCs show up. The sword monologues, and we set the stage for the next session's all combat by the sword unleashing the mind controlled Noel Yanish. I think that's kind of I think that makes sense to me. Um, the idea that, like, this is kind of a setup and everyone getting their feet back underneath them um, type of episode and build. And plus, I mean, it's Star Wars, so there's always going to be a little bit of monologue going on. Secrets. I think we're going to go with okay. No Yanish. Who's that guy? Because the PCs have forgotten all about this character. Noel was taken by students of the sword and is in the hilt where he has become a vessel for the dark side of the force. Poor Noel can't catch a break. To Mr. Feeney. Nice. Like I think that's the thing too is the PCs will be like, oh no, we just left his body there. Like yeah, it's just kind of left in there. We're supposed to help him, and you're like, moved right on with your bullshit. Um, uh, the challenges. Nendrin has been challenged for over has been challenged daily for over 40 days by students from the Hilt. Most she has put down easy, but has had to slay three who um slay three. The main thing about Nedrin too is to remember that like her lightsaber skill is not great, but she is a master of Terra Sky. On top of being force, being a being not a dark Jedi, I guess, a dark side user. Um, so um, if someone challenges her, she's not going to bust a lightsaber out. She's going to be like, all right, let's do this, mano y mano. Um, so I was telling the boys yesterday, I had just read the Batman in outer space stuff. Um, I can't think of who wrote it now. Maybe Jason Aaron. And there was a really great thing in there with a bounty hunter just called the Thanagarian, who Batman wrecks the Thanagarian's armor by basically using every underhanded trick he can muster. And then the Thanagarian is like, me and you, muscle and gristle, just hand to hand. And Batman just goes, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck off. I liked that kind of idea a lot. That's something that could easily occur um, in a similar like Star Wars setting as well. Which just made me think I kind of should see if this even will work. Sorry, my brain is in about 8 different spots today. Um, if I can find an arm that's the right side. So yeah, I think the kind of the idea of you've got someone who has abilities that perhaps um, most would be ill prepared for. Um, on top of that, just not really desiring to kill people because you're coming from the perspective of you were more or less coerced into being in the situation you were in. Um, and so you recognizing like maybe these people were in a similar boat, um, not wanting to just kill them. um, I don't know, something I kind of was thinking about how oh, well, let's see if sorry, I'm fiddling with this at the same time, trying to determine how well this is going to work um, for Motu arm. And which of course means that uh, my focus is real bad today. I'm in a lot of pain and discomfort today, um, from doing the proper thing and grilling for my lady last night. Um, but I didn't realize how much like just grilling was gonna kick my ass. Oh yeah, it's totally gonna work. Hell yeah. Okay. Now that I know, I can take it off there because it's not what I'm gonna use it on. Um, but yeah, it Mitch. It fucking wrecked me though a little bit, and I still have to get up and around and make sure I shower today and all that good stuff because I got work tomorrow. Whether I want to go or not, got to be there. Um, whether I feel like I can go or not, I got to be there until go back to the doctor and get checked out again because it's a lot of standing and flipping. Well, I mean, so I was doing pork loin, sausage, chicken breasts, steak, and some of the sausages were pork, some were beef, and some were chicken. So I do generally use cool side, hot side method, and I put some chunks of applewood in there as well because I wanted to get some smoke on it. Um, so it's a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down. When you're standing is not really doing much for you anymore. Um, it just kind of wears you out. So, and I was told I would just be supervising. That is not what happened. Anyway, um, um, she has been told that the objective is for her either to join the hilt, um, that would be the swords ranks, or to just die. Okay, cool. Um, I think those are the two big secrets. I mean, I used to take gymnastics. Fuck you guys. I took gymnastics into my freshman year of high school. Not by choice. Mom and dad made me. So there are pictures out there with me in leotards and my little sailor suit leotards from doing tumbling in front of people. I'll never live it down. I used to be able to do the splits, and then I got old, and my knees, my shoulders, my ankles all broke, and so I don't think fantastic locations. There's really much here. I think this time it's just going to be the shanty town. So I'll just so Nendrin's home. Yeah, it really helped. The other thing I would do in college is I would wear shot put shoes, so they have like a completely smooth bottom. There's no texture at all. In spring, during spring ball, when we would do, you know, I always say half speed, but in college I learned half speed meant like different things to different people, and also most of the time it meant about three-quarter speed. Um, and so I was forced to chop my feet because if I planted my feet with those shoes on, I was going to get either planted on my ass or I was going to get slid around like a blocking sled. So good times. Um, is a three prefab building, and the um, converted hangar area of her former ship. Around this has sprung up a no longer insignificant shantytown. It's footwork. People don't understand there's two things you find out when you get older in football and you start like going against guys who are good. Um, that I wish I would have known in high school, because high school I could just kind of do whatever I wanted. I was just bigger than most than people, or I was faster, or I was stronger. So it was like me, probably two of those three qualifications. If you were a lot bigger than me, I was probably quicker than you. If you were a lot quicker than me, I was probably a lot bigger than you. Or I was a lot, same thing high school basketball. If you were 6'10", I'm 6'5", but I'm probably going to push you all over the place. Um, and my first step was really good. And it's the same thing in football. I was probably just going to be able to maul you if you were a lot faster than me. All I had to do was get my hands on you. And if you were a lot bigger than me and could maul me, chances are I could just get around you. Um, so college, you find out that everyone's big, everyone's real strong, and everyone's very fast. So the two things I learned there was like how important footwork was and how important handwork is. Like understanding, where your hand placement, understanding like punch release, understanding like that hand fighting is one of the most important things you can do, especially as an offensive lineman, because my job is not to pancake you. And I mean, if I do, that's great. But I'll be honest, when you get to that level, pancaking people is a lot harder than you think it is. That's why people who can do it at the pro level, they're fucking phenomenal. Or even at the college level, the big college level. My real goal is just to occupy you. And because I grew up playing in a zone blocking scheme, that was the goal. I didn't want it. I didn't want to put you on your back, because what I wanted to do was be able to turn you or move you in a direction that opened up running lanes. That's it. Um, and as a tight end, I wanted to be able to get my hands on you and then release you as quick as possible so I can get out and around. So I give the illusion of a run block and then get out into space. Um, if I would have known those things, I would have been far, 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 far better in high school, which would make me far, far better in college. But never taught. You don't know what you don't know. So that's one reason, like, when I started coaching, that was a huge emphasis of mine, was like being able to square your feet underneath your shoulders, to squat your ass, be able to chop your feet, be able to understand, like, don't overextend. But more importantly for me, um, was being able to utilize good hand technique. You know, it's crazy how important that first strike is. I know we're getting the weeds a little bit here, but my last year of college, having to play center, which is hard for a guy who's got short fingers, short stubby fingers, who can't palm a football, and also has nerve damage in one of their hands. So I had to scoop a football. Um, Going from a tight end to a left tackle to a center is really hard. Um, and being able to do this motion of hiking and punching and then coming back and firing off with the other hand to get a nose tackle or a slanting tackle off of you quickly so you could reassert where you're going, and how quickly you can get there. It's a different beast. That's why when coaching, one of the things I always wanted and looked for and tried to make sure we had was a small, fast center. I wanted someone who could snap and punch and then who could pull. I can't remember the name of the guy. He played for the Steelers. It was Dermontti Dawson. They had a center who could pull, in the 90s, early 2000s. And how absolutely devastating that is to have a guy who's snapping, and when you have big guards who can slant down and absorb the A gaps, to have a center that they can get out into open space and especially when it's someone who actually is a good open space blocker, um, irreplaceable. It's just it's something that I think is for me as someone who would only utilize zone blocking because I think blocking schemes are dumb. Um, sorry, I just do. Um, I think zone blocking, zone technique is the best way to do things. Um, I want somebody who can get out in space, um, especially on a counter. We'll all zone step left, but that center will snap and go right. You know, I want to be able because the zone blocking schemes with counters, it makes it hard for hopefully it makes it hard for linebackers to read effectively. So anyway, football talk. What football talk in the middle of our Star Warring? Anyway, um, I think that might be their only fantastic location besides the Hilt. I can put anything about the Hilt. We've been there 2 or 3 times. NPCs. Nendrin. Do this. These two Chiss on the flight back. And that's kind of it. I feel like since this is a big setup episode, I don't feel the need to do more than what we got. Yeah, I feel like it's good. Look, we did a Star War. Um, yeah, in 41 minutes. That's fast. All right. Well, I think if anyone's interested, I might hightail it for a little bit. Um, oh, private. Where? No, I was not. No, not at all. Good. Well, again, I think it's easy when we've got something that is more um, transitional. I guess I could show you, like, I got a bunch of stuff zenithal ready to paint. I can't figure out if I'm going to put that on a big body or regular size body. I love this head. I'm going to utilize the body that I have parts from the Terry Gordy Executioner stuff. Um, my boy, the Beast. Got a cool shoulder pad. Might as well just put this together, show it to you, and just put it together. This comes apart. Right, it's just a hard plastic harness. I think that my wife will say that too sometimes. She's like, I don't understand how you can just like do that. I love this soft, rubbery 3D print of the Classics Fisto belt. Um, Sorry, there's a lot to show here. I didn't realize how much I'd actually Zenithal since last time we. I think I'm excited to paint this. I think when you're putting something together, having a plan of how to look at it. It's easy for me because I do stream games to go. I got 2.5, 3 hours absolutely tops. So I need to think about it in the context of a serial. I need to have a fast opening. I need to have, even if the opening doesn't really, even if it's like a Batman Brave and the Bold style opening where the opening is like sort of unrelated to what we're doing. Um, and I need to have a cliffhanger ending. I need to have something that's going to make them go, "Oh shit," and want to be back. I like that head. Oh noes. I think I'm going to give this like an old man Zodak thing going on. Not Zodak, Stratos. And this is going to be like a dark Stratos, like an armored. I think why they called the Aviarians. I can't remember. So I already started painting too. This is just a first speed paint coat. I'm going to go back and dry brush a lighter green on this. But although I will say, this does not look bad. It looks pretty good. I need to get the groups that happens, Mitch. I found that also I love running for a smaller amount of people. I need to find a Filmation cartoon collection Man at Arms. Not the new one, but the regular ass one, because I need the thinner body. Um, this head needs drilled out, but I think that's the thing though, Mitch. Be prepared for it to be like the Avengers. That's hard. That's I won't. Yeah, that's difficult. And then last but not least, I don't think I'm going to keep this on this body though. I think I'm going to use a bigger body, like a either this. But also, I really like this. I'd have to see if I can scrub off the yellow. Yeah, they are really. I feel like they're turning out. I need to go over them with a some type of green to like lighten it just a little bit, like on the high feature. So like not a dry brush, but like a highlight. Um, but I think I'm gonna shut this stream down, and then I think I'll fire up Hightail. Um, if you want me to stream it, let me know in the chat real quick. If you just want to, for those folks who are in our Discord, if you're just like, hey, I just want to chit chat on Discord, say that as well, and we'll just do that because I'll play. I can do either one. In fact, since there's like nobody here that's not from Discord, I'll just probably just do it on Discord. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping. Thanks for being coolios. And Oh, there you go. Get that nap in. I got to nap me in the future. Probably like one. That's feel strongly about this nap. Um, and I'll either see you over on the Discord or I'll see you the next summer stream, which I don't know when it'll be. Who knows? All right, me.